Hello YouTube world, welcome back to my workshop. The project we've got for you today is this piece of cherry. Now, I've never had a great deal of success with cherry in the past. Been very hit and miss. It always seems to want to split on me, either as it's drying or after I've turned it. This piece I've got is probably about 4 years old, and I was lucky enough when I was working on this estate when it was failed. The chap said I could have it, and I brought it home straight away, put PVA glue on both ends, and I covered that with cling film, and it seems to have done the trick because it's not split at all, although there is a tiny little hairline crack in there, but that shouldn't affect what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is turn a 2-part vase with a little twist, and if that turns out okay, I have the main trunk of this as well, which is probably about twice the size of that, and I would like to do a 2-part vase with that as well. Now, I've never turned anything quite as large as that before, so I think this one's going to be fun, but the other one will be quite exciting. So sit tight, watch how I do it. I have this set up between centres. I've got 4-prong spur on this end, and I've got my revolving centre on that end. So I'm just going to very quickly go through and just knock all the bark off and just knock that into a round. So this is now going to be the vase. I've got tenon on both ends. This is going to be the top of the vase, so I'm going to do a sweep in there and then taper that end down. See on there straight away that vase shape is starting to form. I have these LED spotlights down here, or floodlights, and when I have them on they're lovely to work with. Unfortunately, when I have a white wood, the glare just washes everything out. Okay, so you start to see a lovely grain pattern coming through there now, and there, shape of our vase starting to form. So I want to take this down a little bit more through here, because I want that to come up and curve as it comes in there. Although I'm getting some lovely grain pattern running through there, a lot of that is tearing up where that's so dry, and also there's quite a bit of rock got on there. I'll have to see what that's like. It's a bit too punky, but I think I'd probably put some super glue in there which will stabilise all of that. Right, what I'm going to do is very torn. It's not very good finish at all where it's so dry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sand that down now and just see what it sounds up like, and hopefully a lot of this where it's torn away will just sand away. I'm going to start off with Lathe grit. I don't normally do that. So that's the overall shape. I'm quite pleased with that. So what I'm going to do now is get and put this end in the 4-jaw chuck. What I want to do now is just go through there with my parting off tool and separate those two halves. And then all I need to do is just hollow that piece out. I've got a 75mm force nib bit. I'm going to drive down through the first. Well, that's that all nicely hollowed. That was the base, and this is the funnel. That is the top, and that's the piece that will sit inside. The first thing I need to do is just turn a small recess on there. It needs to fit inside that recess there so that I can put them back together and glue them up. That's a good fit. It's nice. So now get to hollow. Start hollowing. Careful because I've got a lot of wood there. I'll come down into that waste. That is very thin there. Take Still take quite a bit more out of there yet. What I'm going to do now is just put flats just inside there so that my jaws can go and sit in there. Now I'll just get and turn that round. So as you can see, I've turned this around in the lathe, and the piece we're looking at there, that'll be the top of the funnel of the vase or the flute. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put this, I think it's a 30mm spade bit, I'll just put through until I just meet up with the hole on the other side that I've already worked on. And now we come to just hollowing it out. This was quite delicate because I was quite a long way out of the truck here. Although I had the big jaws in, which does hold it a lot tighter, you do have to be quite careful. I have to say as well, the some of those chippings that were coming off, they got quite hot. They were actually burning my hand at one point. I probably spent more time sharpening my chisel than I did actually turning, because that cherry is incredibly hard wood. It's quite deceptively so. You expect it with stuff like oak and other hardwoods, but not really with cherry. You see there I had to move my fingers out of the way in the end, but that was getting so hot in my hand. But it was all turning out very nicely. And as you see, that hole in the bottom is just, every cut I take down through there is getting bigger and bigger. And I am almost there now. And it's just really paying attention to what you're doing and making sure that top of that funnel is a nice even thickness all the way down. You can see here I've switched my chisel out now for my hollowing tool, just to get in that very bottom and just to make a nice transition between the two curves. So as you see, that one's all nicely hollowed. Lovely sanding on that. Beautiful smooth. What I'll do now is I'll just put that one back up in the chuck. There's a nice tight fit on there. Just try and line the grain back up. And I'll just run some glue around there. I've used woodworking glue on this because it does, a Gorilla Glue is very good. If I was in a rush I'd have probably used super glue and accelerant, but I won't be coming back to this till tomorrow. I've lined up the grain as best as I can. I fit that cone in there. Just bring up the tailstock. Just to apply with a bit of pressure on there. Well, that's been left overnight to glue. That's gone off well, and I'll just turn that down so it's all nice and smooth. You see there's still a bit of a ridge there. I've left the spigot in that end, and I've put a piece of tissue in there just to protect the wood. So what I'll do now is just burn a line in there. So what I'm going to do now is just to disguise that burnt line. I'm just going to put two parallel lines either side. Just gone in with my skew chisel on the corner just to mark the lines. And then I'm just going to go in with my wire and just burn two more lines on there, just to make extra decoration and to just really cover up that line. Well, that's sanded right down to 320. So that cherry just sand up incredibly smooth. There's some sand and sealer. Look at that beautiful orangey colour. There's some wax. Need a bit of cloth, button, beautiful shine on that, lovely colours, lovely grain. Let's do the inside as well. There you go, YouTubers. A cherry vase. All hollowed. Fantastic grain pattern on there. Really quite beautiful. Lovely shine on there. I really do like that. Well, here we go, YouTubers. Another offering, another week. Hope you enjoyed it, because I certainly enjoyed making it. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all again next week. You take care. Bye bye.